Hello everyone. Hi. Hope you guys can see me and hear me. Hi Kaushik. Hi Rekha. Hi Nan. If you guys can, please just give me a thumbs up so that I can start with today's session. Welcome Zahina. Welcome everyone. So in today's class, we are going to discuss, various problems and various data sets related to LR and DI. That's the agenda. This is the 23rd episode in the series, and I have actually, taken 22 classes already on this, in which I've discussed different types of problems, different sets of problems. This is just a continuation of that. For those of you, good evening Ashutosh. For those of you who are joining my class for the first time, my name is Ravi Handa. I have been teaching for CAT for close to 15 years. I started my career with IMS, then I started my own website through which I taught 20,000 plus students online. And recently I started taking classes on Unacademy as well. As a part of Unacademy, I take lots of classes, lots of free classes, lots of paid classes. If you want to know which class is happening when, what the schedule is like, I would recommend that you join my Telegram group that is available on this particular link. I have pinned that, and you can get the necessary information from there. Unacademy offers you two kinds of courses, the plus courses and the iconic ones. In the plus courses, you get live classes very similar to this one, but along with that, you also get weekly tests, study material, and access to structured courses. What I mean by structured courses is, say for example, I'm taking a course for geometry right now, and in that course, we very well know in the beginning itself what will happen today, what will happen tomorrow, what the entire schedule is like, and we'll have all that information shared with these students as well. So you can plan your preparation in a much better way. On the other hand, as a part of the iconic plans, you get personalized guidance, you get one-on-one mentoring. There are experts who will help you plan, who will help you prepare. So if you need this one-on-one guidance, if you need someone to help you analyze your mock test, then you need to go in for the iconic plan. In terms of price points, if you're targeting CAT 2021, my recommendation would be to go in for the 2-month plan, which is for 7,000, and you can actually get it for 6,300 if you use the coupon code HANDA. On the other hand, if you're targeting CAT 22, then I would recommend the 18-month plus plan or the 12-month iconic plan. The plus plan is for 28,550, roughly 29K, where you can use the coupon code HANDA to get a 10% off. Or the same thing is valid here as well. Here the price will come down to roughly 35, 36K. So I have planned 3 sets today. One is from CAT 2019. Then we have another one from CAT 2004. And in the end, the last one is from CAT 2008. So 3 CAT sets is what I plan to discuss today. Let us start with the first one. So, if there are any questions that you guys have about preparation, you can please ask them. If not, give me a thumbs up so that I can start with the questions that I have planned. Okay, so let's start with this. To compare the rainfall data, the Indian Meteorological Department calculated the long period average of rainfall during the period June to August for each of the 16 states. The figure below shows the actual rainfall measured in millimeter during the June to August period and the percentage deviations from the LPA of the respective states in 2018. Okay. So various figures are given. Say, for example, Rajasthan, this year rain is 300. And it is, how much above? 15% above the average. So last year, or the long-term average for Rajasthan would have been 300 by 1.15. That is essentially how the data is given to us. Are you guys okay with this? For example, Manipur is currently at 400, but it has fallen by 60%. That means it is 40% of the long-term average. So 400 by 0.4, or the long-term average for Manipur is actually 1000. That is essentially how the entire information and how the entire data is structured. Let's check this. If a heavy monsoon state is defined as a state with actual rainfall from June to August of 900 mm or more, then approximately what percentage of heavy monsoon states have a negative deviation? So first of all, I need to find out the heavy monsoon states. Anyone who is on the right side of 900, that means who is more than 900, is actually a heavy monsoon state. So, something like this. So anyone who is on right side of this, so that is Maharashtra, Sikkim, Mizoram, Goa, Arunachal, Kerala, Meghalaya. So there are 7 states in total who are on the right, which are Maharashtra, Sikkim, Goa, Mizoram. These are in the positive deviation space. Arunachal, Kerala, and Meghalaya are in the negative deviation space. So 3 out of 7 are in negative. 3 out of 7 is what percentage? 1 out of 7 is 14.28. So 3 out of 7 is 42.86. Are you guys okay with this figure? 3 out of 7? Okay. If a low monsoon state is defined as a state with actual rainfall from June to August of 750 mm or less. So now I want 750 or less. So this is 600, this is 800, 750. Will be somewhere here. Now I have Gujarat, Karnataka, Rajasthan, MP. These have a positive deviation. Then Assam, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Delhi, Manipur. Assam, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Delhi and Manipur have a negative deviation. Then what is the median deviation from LPA as defined in the y-axis? Okay, so what I need is, if I arrange these values in an increasing or a decreasing order, which one will be the middle value? So there are 4 positive and 5 negatives. That means the middle value will be the first negative value, which is Assam. So there are 4 above Assam. Which ones? Gujarat, Karnataka, Rajasthan, MP. Then Assam is coming out as the middle value, which is a deviation of minus 10%. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward question. What is the average rainfall of all states that have actual rainfall of 600 or less in 2019 and a negative deviation from LPA? So now it should be less than 600 and a negative deviation should also be there. Okay. So less than 600 and negative deviation. 600 exactly chalega kya? 600 exactly is fine. So it should be below this line and negative and 600 or below. So anything which is inside this box, anything which is inside this box is negative and 600 or below. So this means, and I need the average. So what are the values? 600, 600, 400, 300, 600. All of these values are okay. So what is my average? 1200, 1800, 1800 and 700. So this is 1800 and 700 is 2500 and there are 5 of these. So this comes out as, I've done it right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 3. No, 600, 600, then 4, 3, 4. So it will not be 2500. This will be 12 and 4, 16, 16 and 7. So 2300, giving me the average as 460 mm. So the first 3 questions were pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You just needed to observe the values. Are you guys okay with this particular set of values? Let's check the next one. The LPA of a state for a year is defined as the average rainfall in the preceding 10 years for the period of June to August. For example, LPA in 2018 is the average rainfall during the 2009 to 18 period. So from 2009 to 2018, if you take the average of all of those values, so 09, 10, 11 till 18 divided by 10, this overall is your LPA in 2018. Very similarly, the LPA in 2019, let me call that as LPA dash, that will be from 10 to 19. It is also observed that the actual rainfall in Gujarat in 2019 is 20% more than the rainfall in 2009. So what is the rainfall in 2019 for Gujarat? 600, which will mean in 2009 it was 600 by 1.2 or 500. Then what is the LPA? The deviation from the LPA is of 25%, which means the LPA is actually 600 by 1.25. That is effectively 4 by 5 of 600. That's 600 by 5, 120 into 4. This comes out as 480. So now I have all these values. Think about it. I have, I have LPA, I have 2009, I have 2019, and I'm asked for LPA dash. How do I find that out? These are the values that I have. तो अब मैं क्या करूंगा, कैसे निकालूंगा, कौन सी वैल्यू को कैलकुलेट करने की कोशिश करूंगा? What am I going to do? Can you tell me? How do I proceed with this? Any ideas, any suggestions? Okay. See, what you are going to do is you do LPA dash minus LPA. And when you actually do that, you will realize X10, X10 will cancel, X11, X11 will cancel, X12, X12, X18, X18 will cancel. You will be left with X19 minus X09 by 10, which gives me the value as LPA dash. I'm trying to find out. LPA is 480, 19 is 600 minus 500 by 10, which is 100 by 10, which is indeed 10. So my long-term average till 2019, which I was trying to find out, is 480 plus 10 or 490. Are you guys okay with this? Rakesh, Sriram, Sid, Prakhar, plenty of you have joined us. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Said all you needed to do was to observe the data in a proper fashion and you will get to the answer fairly quickly. मतलब first three में तो बिल्कुल भी effort नहीं लगा, एकदम सीधा सीधा निकल गए. The last one required a little bit of effort, but even then I will not put this into, as one of the hard questions or in the hard category. Okay. Just a reminder, we have multiple batches which are starting. Please go ahead and join these batches. And if you're planning to enroll in any of these, please use the coupon code HANDA to get a 10% off on the same. Also, I am planning a bunch of other special classes, tomorrow. So you can follow me on my profile or you can join the Telegram group. So I'm discussing the CAT 2018 paper at 12 noon. Then at 3 p.m. I'm discussing divisibility rules. At 5 p.m. we are doing another episode of such LRDI questions. And at 7 p.m. I'm conducting a GK quiz that you guys can take part in. Let us try this particular set and tell me how you're going to solve this one. Coach John sat with the scorecards of Indian players from the 3 games in one-day international tournament, where the same set of players played for India. So it's the same set of players who are playing. That's important. And all the major batsmen got out. John summarized the batting performance through 3 diagrams, one for each game. In each game, the 3 outer triangles communicate the runs scored by the top 3 scorers. ओके, तो Y ने 40 किया है, V ने 130 किया है, K ने 28 किया है. हर गेम के जो टॉप 3 स्कोरर्स हैं, they are visible to me here. The middle triangle in each diagram denotes the percentage of total score that was scored by the top 3. तो इन गेम्स में टॉप 3 ने कितना किया है? 40 and 130, 170 and 1, तो इसने किया है 198. Then 51 and 49 is 100. So against South Africa, top 3 have scored 175. And against Australia, 50 and 55 is 105. And 87, this is 192. And I know this 198 is 90%. So my total is going to be 198 by 0.9, which is 220. This 175 is 70% of the total, which means my total is going to be 175 by 0.7 or 250. This 192 is 80%, so this is going to be 192 by 0.8, which is coming out as how much? 192 by 8 is 96 by 4, which is 240. So these are the total runs that these guys have scored in these matches. Which means if 198 is by top 3 and the total is 220, then all of the others combined scored 22. In this case, all of the others, 8 more players are there. So the 8 more players scored a combined of 75. And in this case, the 8 other players combined scored 240 minus 192 or 48. Fair enough? Then what happened? No 2 players scored the same number of runs. I'll keep that in mind. John also calculated 2 batting indexes for each player based on his scores. R index is the difference between his highest and lowest scores, while the M index is the middle number if his scores are arranged in a non-increasing order. So let us try and make the arrangement for these scores. Let's try to do that. So we have various criteria that are there. Then I have 5 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, these 5 players have scored a certain number of runs in the first 3 matches. So let's put that information in. YVK, YVK, and then we have R and S. First match against Pakistan. Then this is 40, 130, 28, 40, 130 and 28 against South Africa. KF is 51, Saurav is 75, R is 49, and against Australia, R is 55, S is 50, and Y is 87. Now there are some scores which are left. Can you give me any information about these missing scores? I know in Pakistan, all others combined have scored 22, That means the scores for these people will be between 0 and 22. Very similarly, for South Africa, all other players have scored 75. That means these scores will be between 0 and 75. But please note something very, very important. The third highest scorer is 49. If this guy scored 75, then he would have been in the top 3. But he is not in the top 3. That means he did not score 49 or more than 49. That means both of them scored between 0 and 48. Very similarly, for Australia, again, anything till 48 is possible. So 0 till 48 and 0 till 48. Then comes the question of the two indexes that we talked about, which are the M index and the R index. Now, R index is essentially the difference of the highest and the lowest value, and M index is the middle value. So what can be the middle value here? I don't know that for sure, because if this is 48, then 48 becomes the middle value. If this is 10, then 10, 40, 87, 40 becomes the middle value. So I do not know what the middle value is going to be. I don't know here also, I don't know here also. In this case, I know that the middle value will be 49, because definitely against Pakistan is the lowest score. In case of Saurav also, I know that the middle value is going to be 50. The range is concerned, how much is the lowest and the highest? I don't think you can calculate it for any of them. Are you guys okay with the tables that I have obtained? Okay, good to see that. So if you are okay with the tables that I have obtained, now all you need to do is have a look at the questions and we can solve it from there. Which of the players had the best M index from the tournament? Now, I know that the M index for Rahul is 49 and for Saurav it is 50, but that doesn't help me. I can't really get a unique answer from there, because, it is possible someone has a higher M index, it is possible someone has a lower M index. So what I need to do is I need to look at all possible M indexes. So now, if I look at Pakistan, if I look at Yuvraj, if the lowest score is 0, then the middle score will be 40. If the lowest score, if against South Africa it is 10, middle will still be 40. If against South Africa it is 35, middle will still be 40. If against South Africa he has scored 41, then 41 becomes the middle score. So now we cannot say what the exact middle score is, but we know that the middle score will lie between 40 and 48. Are you guys okay with this? That the middle score or the M index will lie between 40 and 48 for Yuvraj. For Virendra, it is possible both of these scores are 0-0. It is possible both of these scores are 48. So the middle value for Virendra can lie at anything between 0 and 48. Based on the very same logic, if in Australia you end up scoring below 28, then 28 becomes the middle. If you end up scoring above 28, then above that becomes the middle. So this could be anything from 28 to 48. So these are the various values of M indexes which are possible. I'm not saying it will be 28. I'm not saying it will be 48. I'm not saying it will be 0. I'm saying it could be any of these values. And if it could be any of these values, then which one is the biggest? Well, any value between 40 to 48 or 0 to 48 or 28 to 48 Rahul will be bigger than all of them. Saurav will be bigger than all of the others. So the maximum value that we were looking for is in case of Saurav when it is 50. Are you guys okay with this value coming out as 50? Okay, Rahul. Let's look at the next one. Who can have the lowest R index? Okay, so which means the smallest range. Now, if my goal is to have the lowest R index, that means the minimum range. So if I want the minimum range, that will come in when I have 87 minus 40 or 47 is the minimum range that you can have. Do you guys agree with me on this? For Virendra, what is the minimum range? 130 and 48. So the minimum range he can have is 82. How about South Africa? 51 and 28. I'm not saying that this will be the range. I'm saying that this is the minimum range which is possible. 51 minus 28 is 23. How about this one? In this case, 55 is guaranteed. You take this as 22 and you get it as 33. And in this case, what is the minimum range possible? 75 and 22, which is 53. So these are the minimum values which are possible from a range perspective. Very similarly, what about the max one? 87 and 0. This can be 87. 130 and 0. So can be 130. 51 and 0. So this can be 51. 55 and 0. So this can be 55. 75 and 0. So this can be 75. Now, which one of them can be minimum? Can we have, look at this data, if I say Yuvraj is minimum, is that possible? If I say Yuvraj is minimum, then I'll make Yuvraj as 47, all others as 130, 51, 55 and 75. So yes, Yuvraj can be minimum. Do you guys agree? If I take Yuvraj as 47 and all others I take as the maximum value, then Yuvraj can be minimum. Can Virendra be minimum? If I take Virendra as 82, then no. Virendra cannot be minimum because the others will still be above him. So Virendra cannot be the minimum value. If I take Kaif as 23, then yes, all others are bigger, which is possible. If I take Rahul as 33, once again, all others are bigger. So that is also possible. If I take Saurav minimum is 53, then Kaif would become lower than that. So Virendra, it is not possible. Saurav, it is not possible. Yuvraj, Rahul and Kaif, for these three, it is possible. How did I calculate the minimum range? For which one, Rahul? You did not understand the minimum. Yuvraj. Okay. What is minimum range? Maximum value is fixed at 87. If I take this as 0, then my scores will be 0, 40, and 87, and in that case my range will be 87. If I take this as 35, 40 and 87, in that case my range will be 87 minus 35 or 52. If I take this one against South Africa as 48 instead of 35, then what happens is my lowest value becomes 40, and in that case my range becomes 87 minus 40 or 47, which is how I got this value. Are you guys okay with these? Rahul is fine, good to see that. Then, for how many players is it possible to calculate the exact M index? I think for Saurav and Rahul, 49 and 50. For Rahul, it is 49. For Saurav, it is 50. So for two of them, it is possible to do that. How many players definitely scored less than Yuvraj? So what is the minimum that Yuvraj has scored? Minimum that Yuvraj has scored is 40 plus 0 plus 87. Which is 127. Now, for a player to definitely score less than Yuvraj, so suppose, player X scores less than Yuvraj, how can you guarantee that? That will only happen when the player's maximum is less than Yuvraj's minimum. Only then you can guarantee. See, for Yuvraj, we have a range. Suppose this. If there is another player who is in this range, so this is Yuvraj, suppose this is Ravi, then Ravi can be less than Yuvraj, but if Yuvraj is here and Ravi is here, then Ravi can be more than Yuvraj also. What do we want? We want someone to be always less than Yuvraj. That is possible for, let's say, Ashutosh. If the maximum of Ashutosh is less than the minimum of Yuvraj, then you can guarantee that Yuvraj will be this condition will be met, that definitely scored less than Yuvraj. So now you check the maximum for each one of them. So Viren Sehwag, maximum kya? His single score is 130. So Viru max is greater than Yuvraj minimum. So this doesn't work. Kef max is how much? 28, 51, 48. How much is this? 99 plus 28. This is exactly 127, which is a problem, because if this is exactly 127, then there can be a case that this is equal to Yuvraj minimum. So did he definitely score less than Yuvraj? No. Are you guys getting my point? Because since he scored 127, so these two are definite no's. Let's check the others. Rahul. Maximum is 22, 49, 55. (49) and 55 is 104 plus 22 is 126. So yes, Rahul max is less than 127, which means yes, you can guarantee that Rahul has definitely scored less than Yuvraj. And finally, Saurav maximum, that is 22, 75, 50 and 75. So that is 125 plus 22, 147. So this will not work. S maximum is greater than 127. So no. So there is only one case where this works, and that one case is the case of Rahul. Are you guys okay with this? Is Rahul okay with this? Okay, good to see that. Just a reminder, we have started, giving out multiple mocks that you guys can try. These are a part of both our Plus and our Iconic programs. And if you're planning to register, I would strongly recommend that you try out the 2-month plan in which these will get covered. Over and above that, we also give out scholarships at the, at every Sunday at 12 noon. We have to use the coupon code Handa to unlock this test if you are not enrolled. And you can take these tests for scholarships, and not just for scholarships, you can also take these tests to see where you actually stand against the competition. And if you guys are okay with that, let's try out the next set. This is from CAT 2008. So how do you start with this? Or you have questions directly. The proportion of male students and the proportion of veg students are given. So if 0.6 are male, 0.4 are female, 0.55 are male, 0.45 are female, and so on. 0.53 are vegetarian, so 0.47 are non-vegetarian. The school has a total of 800 students. Okay, 80% are in secondary, so secondary is 640, and the rest are equally divided in 11 and 12. So 160 are left. So 11 and 12 is 80-80. That's it. Let me draw the table again. From Rahul, from 2009 to 2016 are not available. (2008) is available. 2017 is also available. And what difference does that make if I am A made the paper or I am B made the paper? Please stop wasting your time on such, useless piece of information. Boss, do you think that you will be able to hack the system and get some insights? यार अगर ऐसा कुछ होता तो मैं बता देता ना, मैं काहे के लिए बैठा हूं? कुछ नहीं होने वाला है इन सब चीजों से. कौन पेपर बना रहा है, इसका मैथ्स मुश्किल आएगा, इस बार ये होगा. मैं तुमको बता रहा हूं, पेपर में मैं तुम्हें पूरा बता दूंगी, ज्योमेट्री से 3 क्वेश्चन आएंगे, इससे 5 आएंगे, ये सब पूरा तुमको पैटर्न बता दूंगा ना, तभी तुम घंटा कुछ नहीं उखाड़ पाओगे. Whatever marks you are going to get, that is the marks that you are going to get. It is not going to make a difference if you know the pattern of the paper, if you know this is relatively easier or this is relatively harder. Stop bothering with all this information. Please don't do that. अच्छी खासी टेबल बना रहा था मैं, मूड खराब कर दिया, मैं भूल भी गया क्या बनाना था मुझे टेबल में. मेल स्टूडेंट्स, हाँ, ओके. So basically there are 3 categories. So male, female, veg, non-veg. कौन कौन सी क्लासेस हैं इसमें? There is 11, 12, secondary, total. एक और नंबर ऑफ पीपल के लिए भी चाहिए होगा ना. मेल, फीमेल, वेज, नॉन वेज. अब मैं देखता जाता हूं कौन कौन सा डेटा है इसमें से मेरे पास में. 80, 86, 40 and total is 800. Now, in class 12, males are 60%. 60% of 80, 60% of 80 is 48, so females are 32. In class 11, males are 55 and 45. So 55% of 80, 50% is 40, so 55% is 44 and 36. Total, it is 0.475 into 800. So 800 into 47.5 कर लेता हूं मैं. 47.5 का डबल कितना होगा? 47.5 का डबल होगा 95. 95 का डबल होगा 190. 190 का डबल होगा 380. So this will be 420. If this is 380 and this is 420, so how much is left here and here? So 32 and 36 is 68. 420 minus 68 is how much? 352. यहां पे कितना रह गया? 640 minus 352. ये आ गया मेरा 288. Are you guys okay with these calculations? This percentage was given, found this out. This percentage was given, found this out. This percentage was given, found this out. And then calculated the other part of it because I had the total with me. Same work I'm going to do in this case. So 0.5% or आधा, so 40 veg, 40 non-veg, 55%. 55% of 640 कितना होगा? 352. So 352 are veg. That means 288 are non-veg. And in my total, 53% is veg. 53 of 800. 50 of 800 is 400. 3 of 800 is 24. This is 424, which means this will be 376. So how much is left? From 376, if you remove 288 and you remove 40, you get this as 48 and you get this as 32. Are you guys okay with these numbers? 32, 48, 40, 40, 352, 288, 424 and 376 for veg and non-veg, as well as for male and female. The problem with this is, if someone asks me how many veg are there, I can answer. If someone asks me how many male vegetarians are there, can you tell me that? How many male vegetarians are there? I cannot. I cannot because I don't have the overlap of these things with each other. Chalo. What is the percentage of male students in the secondary section? Male students in the secondary section is 288. Okay. So 288 by 640, कितना होता है? 45%. Thank you, Rahul, for saving me the effort of calculation. In class 12, 25% of the vegetarians are males. Okay. So male, female, veg, non-veg. This is the grid that I will try to form. Okay. Let's have a look at the numbers. जो कि numbers मुझे पता हैं, the numbers that I know. I know how many males are there in class 12th. In class 12th, 44 males, 36 females. And in class 12, 40 veg and 40 non-veg. So my idea is that if I tell you any of these values, see, if I tell you, randomly speaking, if this is x, ये हो जाएगा 40 minus x क्योंकि इनका total 40 होगा. If this is x, this will come out as 36 minus x because इन दोनों का total 36 होगा. इन दोनों का total 40 होना चाहिए और इन दोनों का total 44 होना चाहिए. So this is x plus 4 ताकि x कट जाए, ये 44 हो जाए, x कट जाए और ये 40 हो जाए. तो बेसिकली इन चारों में से कोई भी एक वैल्यू मुझे मिल जाती है तो मेरा काम हो जाएगा. So let's see if I have any value. I'm given 25% of the vegetarians are males. So out of 40, 10 are male, 30 are female. So non-veg females are 6, non-veg males are 34. क्या निकालना है? The difference between the number of female vegetarians, which is 30, and the number of male non-vegetarians, which is 34, इनका gap, which is 4, so less than 8. Are you guys okay with this? सही तो डेटा लिया है ना मैंने? 11th, 12th. भाई मुझे लग रहा था मैंने कुछ गड़बड़ कर दी. ये एक्चुअली 11, 12 नहीं है. 12, 11 है. मुझे याद है इसका आंसर कुछ और आता है. फाइन. सो क्लास 12 का ब्रेकअप चाहिए मुझे. मेल फीमेल 48, 32 and 32, 48 veg non-veg. 1/4 are veg, so 8 are veg, 40 are non-veg, 8 females are non-veg, and 24 females are veg. Now, number of female vegetarians, which is 24, minus the number of male non-vegetarians, which is 40. What is the difference between them? That is 16. भाई मेरे को याद था that I remember this from earlier that I made some calculation mistake. ये 11, 12 और 12, 11 का टेबल वापस बनाने में मैंने गलती कर दी थी. Anyways, percentage of vegetarian students in class 12th. So 32 students are there who are vegetarian. 32 out of 80, it is 40%. And finally, in the secondary section, 50% of the students are vegetarian males. So once again, male, female, veg, non-veg, total here, total here. इसमें से कौन कौन सा डेटा है मेरे पास में, सबसे पहले तो मैं वो भरूंगा। इसमें से हम लोग सेकेंडरी सेक्शन की बात कर रहे हैं। सेकेंडरी सेक्शन में टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स 640, आउट ऑफ विच मेल फीमेल कितने हैं? मेल 288, फीमेल 352। वेज नॉन वेज कितने हैं? 352 वेज, 288 नॉन वेज, 352 वेज, 288 non veg. What is given to me? 50% of the students are vegetarian males. Okay, so that means out of 640, vegetarian males are 50%. I think इसमें कुछ गड़बड़ है. Let me just check. मैंने इसको कॉपी करने में, क्योंकि इसका कुछ और डेटा आता है, कैट का क्वेश्चन है ये। If my memory serves me right, just give me 1 second, क्योंकि अगर मैं 320 यहाँ पे डाल दूंगा, ये तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है ना, क्योंकि टोटल मेरे 288 हैं, तो 50% तो यहाँ पे तो 320 आ नहीं सकता है। तो आई थिंक कहीं मैंने कुछ लैंग्वेज के अंदर गड़बड़ कर दी है, which is where I have messed up. So I'm just checking that. Give me 1 second, क्योंकि यहां तो वो 320 फिट बैठ ही नहीं रहा है। हाँ, so this is 50% of the male students are vegetarian. वही मैं सोचूं, कुछ तो इसमें गड़बड़ थी। तो 50% of the male students are vegetarian. तो ये 144, ये भी 144, तो ये भी 144, तो कितना बचा रह गया ये? 352 माइनस 144, तो ये रह गया मेरा 208। अब देखो, except veg males, all other groups have same numbers? No, except veg females, all other groups have same numbers. Except veg females, all other groups have same number of students, which is why this will be option 3. Are you guys okay with this? I think वो last वाले question के अंदर थोड़ी सी गड़बड़ थी, so that's why it was important that we fix that. चलो guys, I think आज के लिए इतना ही. We will wrap it up here. I hope आज हम लोगों ने जो तीनों क्वेश्चन किए ना, जैसे कल हम लोगों ने 2 क्वेश्चन किए थे, दोनों सेट ऐसे नहीं थे कि पेपर में आ सकते हैं। आज जो हम लोगों ने तीनों सेट किए हैं, तीनों सेट ऐसे हैं जो कि पेपर में आ सकते हैं, पेपर में आना चाहिए, पेपर में आए हुए हैं और पेपर में तुमको सॉल्व भी करने चाहिए। एंड आई होप यू हैव लर्न समथिंग फ्रॉम दिस। कल वाले हाँ, वो पेपर में करने लायक थे ही नहीं, वो पेपर के क्वेश्चन भी नहीं थे, बोथ दोस। So I think I'll wrap it up here and I'll see you guys in tomorrow. So please do join me tomorrow as well, same time. And if you have any doubts, any particular questions that you want me to discuss, you can mail them at hkfdoubt@gmail.com. And I request you to please provide positive feedback at the end of the class. The better feedback that I get, more such free classes I will be allowed to take on the platform. It will take only 5 seconds for you to, give a smiley or a positive rating or something like that. But please do that. All these little ratings, they add up and they make a lot of difference in how many classes, on which topics teachers are taking on the platform. That's it for today. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.